OK, boys, let's have a look at your next choice here. This is a controversial one, perhaps. Let me just dig this out. This is somebody that people may not recognise, so tell us who that is.
This is a very, very distinguished and great journalist, what you know, called Linda Lee Potter, of the Daily Mail. She's a very, very wonderful woman.
And so why have you chosen her for Room 101, boys?
She drives me balmy. Or balmier.
So talk me through.
I suppose it's really professional jealousy.
Yes.
She just seems to have fantastic natural insight into her subjects, and I don't understand how she knows quite so much about human relationships, particularly the details of, you know, marital relationships. She's like one of those sort of reconstructions of dinosaurs from Victorian England. I mean, not she personally now, but her brilliant interpolations about people's natures. It reminds me of one of those things. She has not much to go on, but she produces, you know, just a sort of fragment of bone or whatever, and she produces this great beast.
Sort of DNA reconstruction.
Yeah, that's what she does, and I don't know how she does it. For instance, I was reading the other day that she thought that Carol Vorderman should split up from some chap who I can't remember, called Les Dennis or something. Is she going to...
Not at the moment, but we don't know. No, I don't think Les Dennis and Carol Vorderman have ever been an item.
Right. Well, whoever it was that Carol Vorderman is an item with, she thought they should no longer be an item because, according to Linda Lee Potter, they don't see enough of each other. And I thought, well, how does she know? How could she possibly know that they don't see enough of each other? No, she said they weren't seen out together often enough. And it absolutely mystified me, because actually the following day there was a photograph of them, you know, in some restaurant. And I thought, how awful that they should feel driven to go out to some restaurant. And I think that's just that's the press gone mad, isn't it? Driving people out to restaurants.
Well, they don't.
They want to have a quiet time in and show their devotion to each other in the privacy of their own home. And I also actually think she's a little bit rough on people. I mean, we're all rough on people in some ways, but okay, Cherie Blair. You know, you say what you like about Cherie. I think she's fine. Why was it necessary? Okay, Cherie very gamely, obviously in the middle of a very sticky thing in China. Very tricky. If you had to give a lecture to a bunch of Chinese children, you know, what would, you know...
First of all, I'd complain about the state of their eggs.
Yeah, I think that's right. Anyway, she rounded it off very bravely with a chorus of When I'm 64 or whatever. And Linda Lee Potter wrote an article saying how funny her knees looked. And, you know, how you could tell how a woman was all falling apart by the state of her knees. It's a bit unfair.
You're talking about sort of columnists having a go at Cherie Blair. Now, I've got a quote here from Tacky, who you employ, The Spectator, who said,
right, deep breath.
Not that I'm calling Cherie Blair a whore. She couldn't be one even if she wanted to. Not good looking enough.
Yeah.
Is that worse than talking about the state of her knees, would you say?
Well, actually, I don't know. I don't know if I was worried. I think it depends. If I was worried about the state of my knees, then it's possible that Linda Lee Potter's remarks might be the more wounding. Anyway, listen, I take your point very humbly and sincerely about another brilliant manoeuvre there. Yes, that's absolutely true. I'd forgotten that Taki was quite so beastly about Cherie.
Yes.
Taki is bowdlerized, he is sanitized. Sometimes slightly unpasteurized and unhomogenized bits do creep in, just as they do into any kind of yogurt.
Okay.
Or whatever. And, you know, it's often, by the time it hits the presses, it's too late for us to issue any kind of product recall.
Yeah.
Because Taki, you know, slipped a baddie in again this week, and owing to huge production pressures.
Taki is a yogurt. That's what you're saying.
He's certainly a pretty live culture.
Yes. Okay. Well, we have going back to Linda Lee Potter here. We've got a couple of her quotes here, because she has the ability to turn on a sixpence. Before Princess Diana died, she called her a zealous do-gooder, unbalanced, a brilliant manipulator, and finally she said, she makes me feel queasy. But bizarrely, the day after Diana died, she said, she made you feel that you were the one special person in the world. People cried out to her. She was unstinted in her support, strength and compassion. So that's a bit of a...
That's wonderful. I think we've got to take your hat off to Linda Potter for that. I mean, just a sheer sort of... She's a method columnist, isn't she?
Yes, yes.
She believes it while she's writing it.
Yeah, yes.
It's fantastic.
On Anthea Turner this year, in February, she said she's had an extremely successful career in television. In June, she said almost everything she's touched turned to failure. So is that what you admire in a sense then? Would you employ her?
What, on The Spectator?
Yeah.
Well, it'd be an honour to discuss it with her.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's not Linda Lee Potter's fault. She works at the Daily Mail, which must poison anybody, I suppose.
Whoa. Are you saying you want to keep her out of it?
Well, I'm arguing for her to stay out.
Well, I don't think you need to put up... Well, no, listen, I don't think... I genuinely think she has a case to answer. You know, how can she know this stuff about people's private lives? How can she... The answer is she doesn't.
No.
Unless she does. But she can't possibly... She doesn't. It's inconceivable that she does. It's bluff. It's bluff.
Yeah. Well, I think on the whole, it's probably better to have opinionated columnists rather than those people who haven't got a clue. So I think on the basis of that...
You're going to rescue her?
Yeah, she's not going to go in.
Right.
She's not going to go in. And so
very cowardly. I think you're frightened of her pen.
Well, she's going in then, isn't she? Go.
Yeah.
Good.